Okay, so we have Jessica St. Goddard joining us via Zoom.us. Jessica is a high school chemistry teacher. She teaches at a local school here in Lethbridge. Welcome to the interview, Mrs. St. Goddard.
Hi, Austin. How are you?
I'm good. So we'll just get right into it. First of all, could you just quickly explain to what extent technology is used in your classroom, whether it's your use or the students using the technology, and what that looks like?
Every day I use my smartboard and PowerPoint or Word presentations almost every day for a lecture or something like that. I also use computers for kids probably once a week. For sure, we get on the computers for the kids, and a lot of the times the kids use their phones actually to look up information. If they can't find something, they use that medium as well.
Moving kind of to a different topic, I know that you've told me in the past that you've attempted to use the flipped classroom or a variation of the flipped classroom in some of your lessons or some of your classes in general. And we know that there's a lot of people who would speak for it and some people who would speak against it. Tell me how it's what you've done and how has it worked for you? Has it created more work for you? Has it created more work for your students? Has it been the opposite? Has it been more time efficient for you? And just what it's looked like and how it's worked for you?
Well, from what I've learned about my flipped classroom, it has to be with the right subject and the right group of kids, or else it can be very difficult for some. Speaking on the groups of kids, it has to be pretty independent learners, ones that can come in or go and read or do the assignment outside of class and then come into the classroom with questions. They have to ask questions. So if they're not ones that are willing to be in an environment where it's back and forth between student and teacher, it's very difficult to have that type of classroom environment. I have also learned that it's way better for something like chemistry versus biology. And I think and I know it works. There's another teacher that has tried it with physics and it works great for that subject. I think it would work really well for math as well, but ones that you have to talk a lot about and, a lot of teaching instead of working, those are the harder ones to do it with. So I've tried a flipped classroom once. It's a lot of work for the teacher because you have to get all the video cameras set up, film yourself, try not to make a mistake. If you make a mistake, you have to go back and refilm it. So it's it's a lot of work up front on the teacher's end. And if the students aren't willing to use that medium, it's sometimes a waste of time for you as a teacher.
Did you ever get feedback from students regarding what they thought of that approach?
Well, they liked it, the ones that did do it and did do the work. So I would send them home with my video and they'd have to fill in the notes. And then they would come in the next day and have the full class and my full attention to help them with questions or practice problems or anything like that. So it was a little bit different. Instead of filling out the notes as I'm going, they can do it at their own pace, right? They can stop, pause the video, rewind the video, where you can't really rewind a teacher if you're doing it at live speed, right? Or they don't have the confidence to ask me to repeat it or ask me to go over it again. So I find that.
Or what did you notice, I guess, when it came to students who had completed it and then other students who maybe didn't do the assignment, the pre-reading or the frame paragraph assignment the night before? What would that do for you as a teacher in terms of instruction?
Well, it's kind of the same as it would be if you sent regular homework home. The ones who are going to do it are going to do it, and the ones who aren't are not going to do it. The ones that didn't do the assignment before, I'd have to spend maybe 10 minutes or give them tell them to go down to the computer lab, and they have to watch that and come back up to the classroom after. So it was.
So did you notice, or did you get any feedback about the workload required for students when it comes to is one more work than the other, or were they were they a bit of a wash?
Yeah, it's similar. Like it's the same amount of work, just in different, just flipped around, right? What they liked is they didn't go home and had a question about one of the problems that they did. They could ask me right away instead of just leaving it. So I found that they would do more problems just because if they had a question, they wouldn't just stop and give up, fold their books and ask me the next day and then not do the other 4 problems. Right? If they had a question, it was immediate, right? They could come to me immediately and ask for an answer or something to get them going or moving forward into finishing the work. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is all the questions I have for you, Mrs. St. Goddard. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, of course.